from Los Angeles in the United States. Hope you're all having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Porchlight Letters number 2461. And today our episode is called, what are we calling it? Tripping Along in LAX. Yes, we've had an adventure today. So my adventure started this morning, no problems at all. Got up, went down to the restaurant that does the buffet breakfast. My first time in there, it was great. I had a protein smoothie, I had scrambled eggs, I had this crumb round thing, which I think may have been mashed polenta or mashed potato. I don't know. Looked like a hash brown, so I tried it. It didn't have onions in it, so we were good. Tried some of the other foods that they had out as well, and had some green tea. And like I said, a protein smoothie, which was really good. You go along and they've got the mason jars with the fruit in it, and you pick which one you want. And then you pick if you want it blended with orange juice, grapefruit juice, or water. And then they mix it and then they also have the cacao powder. Yes, please. Flaxseed. Yes, please. Turmeric. Yes, please. Protein powder. Yes, please. Cinnamon. Yes, please. And what was the other one? Oh, chia seeds. Yes, please. So you got to put it's a custom design thing. It was really good. And there was enough that I got 2 mason jars full. And it was really delicious. Ate way too much. But then I was out walking back and bumped into my niece with her husband and their little baby, Zach. So I got to talk with them for a bit and totally forgot that it was Leo's birthday. And so when I got back to the room, I sent her a text message and sent her my little birthday song, and she absolutely loved it. Thought it was really good. And then got everything was basically packed because I didn't unpack anything. The only stuff I had to pack in was my dirty laundry, my toiletries, and my electronic stuff. Got that done really fast. My transport wasn't picking me up till 11:50. Checkout time was 12 noon. And I even had like 20 minutes to sit down and read my book, Nash Falls. Got to read that. It's getting really, really good. So I got to read that and read some of that. And then it was time. And so I headed off. I headed out like about 20 to 30 minutes early, checked out of my room, headed off down to the front of the hotel and was sitting there. And then there was a couple of white excursions, extended excursions, the XL excursions that were there. And one of them one pulled in when I was there, had been there. I was getting close to my pickup time, and the guy gets out and he has a piece of paper and calls off my name, and I go, yeah, that's me. And so it turned out I had the extended excursion all to myself, with my one piece of check luggage in the back, my one piece of carry-on in the back, and my personal item was sitting on the floor in front of me. And he had the front seat pushed well forward, so a tall person sitting there would have had a ton of leg room. I mean, my feet didn't even come anywhere near the back of the seat or the front seat, so it was awesome. And we had a good chat. I mean, he's still learning English. I know poquito Spanish, like about this much, if that. Maybe it might be more that much. And had a great drive to the airport. He dropped me off there, got checked in really quick and through security and all of that. And I thought, now, I know there's some family members that are flying today and they should be around here somewhere. But I went and got me some electrolytes first, and because I definitely needed those. But I will tell you this. I thought, let me go to the restroom right now. The line to get into the women's restroom was humongous. It actually moved pretty quickly. It took about 10 minutes to get from when I joined the back of the line to when I got into a stall. It actually moved pretty quickly, I was told. Had a good chat with the girl in front of me, and they said that this was the only one in the building. I found one further down that did not have a line for later on when I went browsing. On my way back from browsing, I heard my name called, and I'm like turning around, can't see anybody. I'm looking all around, can't see anybody. So then I'm walking past this area, and I look over and I see Parker sitting there, and so go over and say hi to him. And they had a friend sitting with them as well. Parker and Ted were sitting there, and then Sophia came up. She was the bride. And they were boarding in like 15, 20 minutes. So I had some time with them. Ted had to go because his flight had been called. And so I got to spend some time with them. And Sophia's side of the family was there as well. They were going back to Sacramento via somewhere else. They had a stopover on their flights. whereas Parker and Sophia were going directly back. So I got to sit down and have a chat with them and just talk with them for a little bit, which was awesome. Didn't see anybody else in the family afterwards, and we knew some people were there, we just couldn't find them, and we tried texting them and they never responded. So that was okay. I finally got called for my flight, got on there, and I had an aisle seat this time. I decided I was going to take an aisle seat, see how that was. And I'm sitting there waiting for the other two people to come in because they said they already announced it was going to be a full flight. And then I hear this guy up the back going, "What? This is not." And they said, "No, we've got all of our." And somebody's going, "We've got all of our seats together, and these are all of our seats, and you're in one of our seats." And he's like, "No, I'm pretty sure this is one of mine." So he pulls out his thing, and it turns out he was supposed to be sitting in the seat next to me in the middle seat, but he didn't have his glasses on, so he took row 19 as something in the 20s, like about 3 or 4 rows behind me. I'm like, oh, jeepers. So he came and sat down and we chatted for a little bit. And then the guy in seat A finally showed up. And so him and the guy in the middle started chit-chatting away. I fell asleep. As we were taking off, I decided to have a snooze. So I snoozed for a bit and woke up as they announced they were bringing around drinks and snacks. And then from then on, we kind of chit-chatted because the other guy had gone to sleep. So the guy in the middle, Doug, him and I started chit-chatting along and all that sort of stuff. Talked about Carbo. He was telling me about his daughter Tiffany's yacht charter thing that they have, where they will take for $300 an hour, they'll take you out on the water. It includes the chef. It includes a bartender. Didn't say if it included the food though. And then he was showing me a video of his daughter's Airbnb that she has. That's about half a mile from her house, half a mile from the beach. It's in the same gated community as her house, and he always stays in the Airbnb when he comes down. And it was a 2-bedroom, and it's $250 a night, sleeps 4 people, and it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. So I'm pretty sure we'll be able to find it. I know what it looks like, so I'm pretty sure I'll be able to go find it. I got a speck on my nose on the screen. That's on the chin. There we go. We got it off. So the flight to LA was just over 2 hours. We get there, we get off board, and I start the trek to to passport control. Sorry, you need lubrication. And started the trek to following everybody along and all of that. We're going up this little ramp piece. And all of a sudden, my foot hits something, and I do that stumbling thing where I'm trying to regain, when you're trying to regain your balance. Next thing I know, I am sprawled out on the floor. My knee is hurting, my elbow's hurting, my ribs start to hurt. I got whacked on the back of the head by my backpack because of the momentum of it, and I kind of skidded along the carpet a little bit. Next thing I know, there's 4 and I fell in front of all these security. There's about 6 or 7 security people there, and 4 of them came over to help me get up. One took my backpack off me. One got my other carry-on that I had with me and held that aside. And then I had 3 people helping me get up. So I finally got up, and my knee was pretty banged up, and it's got carpet burn on it, even though I had pants on. And I got carpet burn here on my elbow. That's where this is the one that took the most of the brunt out of the 2 elbows. And my knee was really, really sore. And they said, "Would you like a wheelchair?" And I'm thinking, no, I should be able to. And they said, "You got a long way to walk." I wasn't even halfway to passport control. That's how much further I had to go. And then beyond passport control, into baggage claim, get your bag, and then go through and out the building, and then off to wherever the transport was. And so I said, I think I will. And so this lovely young lady, I totally forgot to ask her name, wheeled me through. We went up and down elevators. We took these shortcuts. There was this big long line for passport control. She goes over to this other line that I went through. The guy got us through super quick. And I will tell you that it's the fastest I have got through passport control, getting the bags. There was no baggage checking thing. It was just take your bags off the thing. There was, they may have already sniffed all the bags and anything and tagged them or whatever, but we got my bag off the conveyor belt. She's pushing me in the wheelchair, rolling my bag along beside her. My wheelie check-in is underneath the seat. I've got my backpack on the front, and we head off out the door. And I suddenly realized I had no US money on me. I only have New Zealand money on me. And down in Cabo, everything was put on the card. And I said to her, "Is there an ATM machine between here?" And she's like, "Nope." And I'm like, darn, what am I going to do? And so I said, "Will you accept New Zealand currency as a tip?" And she said, yes. So I gave her a $20 New Zealand, which would be just over $10 US, something like that. Yeah, about $12 US. So we waited for the shuttle to come in. It took there were 3 shuttles that came from the hotel I am staying in. The first one stopped and took on 2 passengers, couldn't take any more and left. The next 2 went and were in the far lane and just went past because they were full, and they were their big buses. And then the small little shuttle turns up and took all of us that were standing there at that terminal waiting. And I sat next to this guy who was a musician, and he plays the keyboard. And we pulled up at another pickup area further down, and the guys and these they're all African Americans, these musicians, and the sweetest guys, totally awesome, absolutely love them. Would love to go on the cruise with them to see them, watch them play. We pull up at the next terminal, and two of their band members are standing there waiting for the shuttle, and there was no room on the bus. It was full. And there was, I mean, they probably could have stood up, but any luggage that they had, we didn't have room for that. I mean, all the rack was full and everything. And so I'm chit-chatting with the guy next to me and find out that he was the keyboard player. They do 60s R&B. There's a group of them that does 60s R&B. The singer was sitting the other side of him. And they're heading out on Carnival, I think tomorrow. So it might be the 7-night cruise. And they're going to be playing shows on the Carnival cruise sailing, and of their 60s Airbnb. And I'm just like, I would love to be on there to hear them. And so we just chit-chatted, we're chit-chatting with the people across the aisle from us. Yeah, so we were all just chit-chatting together, just having this big chit-chat and the thing to get back till we got to the hotel, and then we all went our separate ways, and I got checked in, and now I'm in my room. It's just a plain, say, room, just like this. There it is. The glass doors are the closet, and that doorway is into the bathroom, and that's basically my room. Oh, and there's a fridge down there. There's the tour of my room, just like that. So now I'm going to go and get me some ice. I also need to get some food. It's 8:20 in the evening here. I am hungry. I didn't really have lunch. In fact, I didn't have lunch. All I've had since breakfast until now was a little bag of braided pretzels on the plane that they gave us. That's it. And I'm hungry. I need food. Need some protein, get the muscles repairing and everything else. And I also need ice. I need to ice my joints. But I think food's going to be top priority right now. And then I'll get, as soon as I get back to the room, I'll get some ice and ice my knee, and ice because my knee is starting to stiffen up. But I try and bend and stretch it as much as I can. Like when we're waiting in lines and stuff. But yeah, so that's my little tripping around LAX today. It's been a great adventure. I now have sore ribs, neck's a little sore, right elbow is sore, wrist is actually okay, and this is my pain in the butt wrist, the one that craps out on me the most. The elbow's sore, the knee is very sore and starting to stiffen up, so I'm just sitting here swinging it, lifting it up and down, just trying to keep it moving, keep the joint moving. Left knee's a little sore, but back of my head's okay, where my of course, it was my backpack on me that came forward and whacked me in the back of the head, and I'm like, "Great." And they're all, like, running around me, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just laying there sprawled out on the floor, and I was like, "Just give me a minute." I could barely talk. I said, "Just give me a minute." And I'm assessing everything, what's wrong and all that. And then I moved to get, and they'd already taken my backpack off me, and they were helping me get up. And yeah, the staff there were really good and very, very quick to help you up and make sure that you were okay and everything else. And they said, "Are you okay?" I said, "My pride's a little bruised, but otherwise I think I'm fine. Got a sore knee and got a sore elbow. This side feels fine, just a little stiff in the shoulders, the neck and here, ribs. I don't think none of them are cracked because I can still take deep breaths. It's a little tight, but I can still take deep breaths. And my right knee's the worst one out of the two. The left one, no pain there at all. So it's just one of those things. But as I always say, no matter what happens, today is always super fantastic and sparkling. And with that, I am out of here. And oh yeah, if I didn't tell you yet, if you go to Spotify and look up Vivian Harper, Vivian Harper, Harp, or you can look for what's the name of the song? On the Vivian Harper is one of my new AI singing personas, and she's an 80s rock star type person. And we just released a song that I wrote called "On the Outside, Looking In." She's been doing pretty well with it. Had 4 listens so far that's been recorded. Sometimes there's a delay in putting the number of listeners there. And so I would love your feedback on that. So go and check that out on Spotify. You can also find her on YouTube by typing in Vivian Harper. Let's see if I can. Oops, no, I don't want that to play. I want to see that. Sorry. Yes, there's no pause button. Let me do that button. I did that button. No, but other stuff. Oh my gosh, get out of there. Pause. There we go. Okay. All right. So if you go to Spotify, I'm going to see if I can share this. Let's see, share screen. This one. I think it's this one. Okay, so this is Vivian Harper, and this is what her album. Oh, here it is. So this is Vivian Harper, and this is her album cover, and she's 80s rock, and sings "On the Outside Looking In." It's a really cool song. It's a very cathartic song. I absolutely loved doing that. So yes, so you can see her on Spotify. And this is what you're looking for if you go and see, if you want to go check that song out. I'm going to put the link into the description of the movie so you guys can go check that out as well. But that's my single that came out 2 days ago. If you've been on Facebook, you would have seen the stuff there. In fact, on my Facebook profile, I got a picture of the album cover, and then the link is in the comments. That way more people get to see it. So go check it out. Love to hear the feedback. I believe she's also on Instagram and YouTube and a whole bunch of other social media platforms as well. But those are the ones I know: Instagram, YouTube. I found her on both of those, and Spotify. I think that's all that I've got her on. I don't know. Stuff makes weird noise in hotel rooms. Have you ever noticed that? So what's the plan for tomorrow? Tomorrow I'll just be hanging out here at the hotel, repacking everything to make sure everything's in its place. And my suitcase is still currently under the limit for the weight, under the weight limit, which is good. And so are my carry-ons. So yeah, but I might repack everything. I don't know. I'll figure it out tomorrow. I may not even do anything with it. Just take out what I need and put it all back again. Anyway, I'm tired. I'm rambling. I need to go get food. So go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys. Actually, I'm going to put that in there now. Close that. Where's the share button for this thing? Share. Copy link to album. And while I'm here on air, I'm going to put it in the description now. Actually, on the outside looking in by now available on Spotify. Update all. Okay, so the description has now been updated for the video. So that'll all be on. So if you go to the description, after we go offline, that'll update the description, and the link to the Spotify is right there for the song if you want to go hear it. I'd love to get feedback on the song, what you think of it. There's a lot of heart and soul in that song. Just listen to the words. But anyway, I'm out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and I'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening as close to 6 p.m. Pacific as I possibly can.